Hello.
Hi.
This is Melissa.
And this is Kat.
That was a long hi.
Yours?
No, yours. Your hi. Like, I was like waiting for it to fucking be over, you know? I was like, hurry up, brother.
My. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
My bad.
Let's go wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've been having a hot girl summer.
Mm-hmm.
I've been busy with work and fucking around. So we like literally just didn't have time to record an episode.
Yeah.
So
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
You
know, Kat streams.
Yeah.
It's my fault. It's my fault. That's also why our TikToks are like
Behind.
7 weeks behind. Yeah. I just sent Kat the TikToks from our last episode from not Enchanted. What did we do after that?
It's a great question. You're asking
The Little Mermaid 2.
Yes.
I just edited them and I forgot. I just sent Kat the TikToks for Little Mermaid 2. It literally came out 2 weeks ago tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
that's okay.
like, you know, I'm just living. I'm living life.
Yeah.
And we just haven't recorded. But anyway, we're gonna post an old Patreon episode.
Personally, one of my favorite episodes, but also one of my like all-time favorite movies.
I don't remember recording it. However, I do love the movie and I'm sure it's a funny episode. But it is titled An Old Bird Lady and it is Spirited Away.
Yay.
And it was our literal 10th episode on Patreon. It's from April of 2022 is when we recorded this. So just to give some context.
We did that 2 years ago?
Yeah, isn't that crazy town?
That doesn't feel real.
I know, it's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm assuming An Old Bird Lady is about
the witch.
The old bird lady.
The old bird lady.
I mean, I don't know why that's not her name. That should be like her name in the...
Yeah.
Also, all their names are like in Japanese and there's no way I can...
Yeah.
Say some of them.
Yeah, the other day, wasn't the other day.
I suck.
A while ago, I had myself a little like Ghibli like movie marathon, and I can never like not watch that one.
I remember being mad that you didn't tell me it was about like dead people and shit. Like the whole
Spirited Away.
All
like,
right.
What did you think the spirits were?
You're not wrong about this. You're not wrong.
I want to see the new one.
Oh yeah, the Heron Boy.
Yeah,
I know that.
I love really birds so much, especially birds with teeth.
We have to go see.
Doesn't look like a fear to me. I think it's out now. Like it's no longer in theaters. It's been out for a while. I'm pretty
Has it
sure.
been that long?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Well, we should rent it and watch
it.
Anyway, so here's that episode.
Enjoy.
Bye. Hello, patrons.
She's in a singing mood today, guys.
I had a Coke. Oh my God. I had a sugary beverage. I am on one. I also worked all day and it's my Friday and I had a soda.
She's on one.
And a falafel pita. So, I don't remember what I was going to say.
Your name, maybe.
Oh, this is Melissa.
And this is Kat.
No, I'm just kidding. Yep.
Great.
Cool. Anyway, you guys are our bestest buddies, so you don't care that we sound stupid, right? Awesome. Let's do it.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I wonder if we'll ever post just like an unedited video.
Oh, God. Could you imagine?
No, because it would be train wreck.
It would be awful.
One word.
You struggling with your pop socket?
No, I just didn't want it to be super loud in the microphone, but it was anyway. So plunk plunk.
Is that the noise your pop socket makes?
Yes.
Plunk plunk.
You want me to do some pop socket ASMR?
Ooh, I liked it opening, actually. I really liked that.
What is happening?
This is what you paid for. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Tragical.
So this time,
we're here to tell you why
Spirited Away
is tragical.
I I forgot to put who picked this. I look now. Katie picked this one.
Yay, Katie.
We watched it on
HBO Max.
HBO Maximo. If you got it, watch it. Also, this is a horror film. Also, I don't do like anime. Kat is the anime queen. She's literally wearing a Spirited Away shirt.
I'm ready.
She's wearing a Spirited Away shirt right now. Yeah, Kat's the anime queen.
Mhm.
I've never seen any of these films. Okay, I'm really sorry.
Yes, you have. You've seen Kiki's Delivery Service.
Okay, that one I have definitely seen.
Literally, our 20-year-old cat was named Kiki after that movie.
Okay, but you named it. I wanted Oreo, remember? Yeah, Kiki it, whose name I have tattooed on my arm.
Literally.
Hated her. No, she was the best. No, remember? Okay, story time. We had a dance studio growing up that we went to do the dance.
Mm-hmm.
And we went one night, a stormy night, and we were picking out a kitten.
Was it storming?
Yeah, it was. It really was.
I don't remember that.
I remember it. And I won't. Okay, well, who loves Kiki more? Clearly me.
I remember picking her and I held her in the car the whole way home.
And there was this really cute, fat, like black and white cat. And I was like, we're getting this one and we're naming it Oreo. Also, I named all animals food, by the way.
She did.
I think we've talked about it before. My hamsters were garlic and Nutter Butter and the other one.
I always forget Strudel. I always forget Strudel.
Bro, doesn't a strudel sound real good right now?
Toaster
like a nice...
Microwavable.
You are obsessed. You are a frat boy in a little girl body. No, not a toaster strudel.
I'm literally crying.
No, bitch, like a real food item, like a real strudel.
Strudels are good.
Anyway, so I was like, let's get this one and name it Oreo. I think I was 5, right?
Yeah, because I was 7.
Yeah, and then Kat was like determined to get this.
First of all, it was going to be my cat. So yes, I picked the one that I wanted. It was my first pet.
I think about Oreo all the time.
Actually, it was technically my second pet. My first one, we won't talk about Simba.
Simba got hit by a car, okay?
Simba was accident prone. He also jumped in our oven. We thought it was
literally
on.
crying.
That poor cat. Oh my God. But yeah, so I named Kiki after Kiki's Delivery Service because it was my favorite movie when I was 7.
Yeah, so anyway, so then we got Kiki, and she was the best cat ever in the entire world. Ever.
She kind of wasn't for a while. She was very mean as a kitten, actually.
Oh, yeah, she's the cat that I think we've talked about it before, either on the pod or in the Patreon episodes where I literally had to like army crawl to get a glass of water in the middle of the night because she would sit under the dining room table and attack our feet if we walked by.
And then she got so old and fat, she couldn't be bothered to move. And then she was just a little cuddly baby.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I hope Dinah gets like that. Dinah, our evil cat, I hope she just like breaks one day and becomes a sweet angel.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely seen Kiki's Delivery Service.
Howl's Moving Castle?
Nope.
My Neighbor Totoro. You've seen parts of it.
Okay, listen, I've watched it, but have I seen it?
With the cat bus and...
I know that I've watched it, but I don't think I've ever paid attention.
Yeah.
I know I've like seen you watch it.
Yeah.
But I've never actually watched it.
I don't know that I've ever really... I've seen a lot of the Studio Ghibli ones, but I don't know that you've ever watched them with me.
Well, this one's my favorite. I don't know how any of them could be better than this one.
Howl's Moving Castle is really good.
This shit was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like another one. When I was doing the fun facts, there's one like somebody starts with an N.
Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't start with an N at all.
There's N's in it.
Great. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I've never seen. I don't know them.
I
don't know her.
Parts of that one. I don't think I've ever watched all of it.
Well, now I want to watch them all because this one was so good.
Okay, and Kiki's Delivery Service is good.
Yeah.
Howl's Moving Castle, I think, is my favorite.
This one's better than Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah.
But this one was also like a horror film, and that's my vibe, my jam, my life, my bread and my butter.
Howl's Moving Castle is kind of a good mix of the two. I think you would like Howl's Moving Castle.
Do you want to hear my funny facts?
Absolutely.
We get these from the Internet Movie Database, IMDb. Here I am giving them free jingles again.
Yeah.
They should be paying me.
Or Badass if you're nasty.
Exactly. So there are several instances in the English dub version where dialogue was added in that was not present in the original Japanese release. In an interview with John Lasseter, he explained that it was a necessary addition to help clarify certain elements for American audiences. For example, what is clearly a bathhouse to Japanese viewers might not be apparent to an American viewer. So this translation issue was fixed by having a character say, "Oh, it's a bathhouse."
Amazing.
I mean, yeah, we don't have bathhouses. Also, I think it would probably be called like a sauna. Like we would call a bathhouse a spa, probably. You know what I mean? So I'm glad they, clarified, because I was like, "The fuck is that?" And then
Americans
she was like,
are stupid.
We just don't have them.
We stupid.
What if she was like, the spa? What if they changed it to a spa? The spa.
Illegal. No.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, but they're in Japan, so you want it to be accurate.
You're accurate.
Yeah, I am.
So when Chihiro arrives at Zeniba's house, the jumping lamp with sound effects is a nod to the Pixar logo.
Cute.
It's another Lampy. Japanese Lampy.
Not Japanese Lampy.
So this was the only non-English language film to date to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually really dope.
Okay, I looked up the pronunciation so I can sound smart.
I'm ready.
So Hayao Miyazaki. Woo! Okay, it took me 3 tries, but we got there.
Are you talking about the guy who like creates all of them?
Yes.
Okay, I could have told you that.
Okay, I don't know his fucking name. I know what Studio Ghibli was, but anyway.
He's a cute little old man.
So Hayao Miyazaki, he wrote, directed, and drew the storyboards for the movie. Many directors have claimed that he essentially writes his movies with drawings, with films like Spirited Away being one man's work and vision.
I love him.
One of the fun facts, I didn't put it in here because it was like stupid long. It basically said that he starts the movie with no ending. He just starts it.
Oh, that's cool.
He just like starts it with like not knowing what the end is going to be.
That's dope.
Or the middle.
Yeah.
Or probably really the beginning. So.
All right.
I know. And I was like, dang, this is some real freaking good shit out here. Oh, nope, that's all I did. Okay. There were some really good fun facts. I will link them below.
Woo.
But yeah, bet you didn't know John Lasseter had his foot in it.
I realized it once the credits rolled at the end and we both trying to play footsie with me.
Not at all. Our bare feet just touched and I have to go throw up.
Made the worst face. We made direct eye contact and cringed. I'm going to switch the way that my legs are facing now.
Okay, great.
But no, I didn't realize he had his proverbial toe in it until the credits rolled.
Foot in the boot.
Until the credits rolled. And I was like, we could have done without that. So this movie starts with our beautiful, lovely little family driving in a car. And the little girl, Chihiro, is sitting in the back seat. She's clutching a bouquet of flowers, and her father is driving and her mother's in the passenger seat. And they're moving away from the town that they lived in before and are moving to a new city. And Chihiro is very upset. She didn't want to leave her friends. She didn't want to leave in the middle of the school year. So she's very sad about it. She has this cute little note, I guess, from whoever gave her the flowers. I'm assuming it's her classmates. I don't know. They don't really ever say, but it's just like a cute little note. And so she's holding on to that. As her dad is speeding down the road, he, I guess, passes the turnoff for their new neighborhood. And then he turns onto a gravel dirt road and is like, oh, it's a shortcut. We're just going to go this way, even though they have no idea where they're at.
Chihiro has no goddamn seatbelt on.
She is in the 90s.
Rolling around the back seat like she owns the place. I mean, she's truly standing up. She's walking around. She's like leaning over into the front part of the car. Like, just, this is clearly the 90s. You know what I mean? 2000s?
2001.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
still kind of the 90s.
Still the 90s.
So while they're driving down this dirt road, they see a bunch of little houses that are on the side of the road. And Chihiro's like, the fuck are those? And her mom says that they are houses for the spirits. People,
verbatim.
Yeah. And Chihiro literally says, what the fuck
are those? Says the 9-year-old.
with no seatbelt on in the backseat of the car.
True. I mean, why not?
So they're driving down this road and her dad is literally driving 200 miles per hour. Like he is gunning it down this dirt road where he has no idea where he's going. Mom's freaking out. Chihiro's literally bouncing around in the back seat. And then they finally break through the treed area they're in. And there's a giant statue in the middle of the road and dad just slams on his brakes and almost hits it. Hello? What the fuck?
Do you think you would also call like a treed area a forest? Sorry, I couldn't let it go.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Forest, a treed area. I wasn't incorrect.
Could I get spelling on treed?
What do you mean? D-R-E-D. That's a word. Yeah. Bitch, I read books. Treat is a word.
Treed area.
A forest, if you will.
Oh, God.
So anyway, in this treed area that they're in, there's the statue that the car stops in front of. And there's a giant building with a archway.
Long, scary tunnel.
Oh, yeah, like an archway that's a tunnel. And mom and dad get out of the car and they're like, oh, let's go down this scary tunnel where you literally can't see the end of it. And Chihiro's like, no, I think we should get in the car and go.
Mr. and Mrs. Chihiro have never seen a scary movie in their life.
Yeah, no, they've never seen a horror film. And dad's over here like punching the wall and he's like, oh, it's plaster. It's not even a real building.
Such a dad thing to do. That is, I could literally see my very own father being like, oh, this is definitely plaster. Like
leaning
shut
on it
up.
Touching different parts of the wall and just being like, yep, this is a fake building.
So the wind of the tunnel is like sucking them in. Like they feel like it's beckoning them into the tunnel. And so they go down the tunnel. Chihiro runs after them because she doesn't want to wait by the treed area by herself.
Dad is literally gaslighting Chihiro. He's like, you shouldn't be scared. Don't be scared. You're not scared. Everything's fine. We're doing great. We're going to go down this scary dark tunnel that you can't see the end of. It's fine.
They're very not great parents. So this tunnel leads to an old train station and there are like ghost train noises all around them. It's spooky. And I was like, man, I fucking like this movie. I already liked it.
Melissa looked at me and she goes, is Spirited Away about spirits? And I said, I don't know. Why don't you watch it and find out?
I thought it was about fucking like dragons and like Naruto fights and shit. I don't know about this nonsense.
Dragons, yes. Naruto, no.
Well, because I knew there was a dragon. So I was like, they're going to go out and catch some Pokemon. I don't know. I don't care for this.
But it's good, so it's not trash.
I'm offending everybody.
Now you know. Yeah, me especially.
I don't know.
I just have a whole freaking anime tattoo on my arm, but it's fine.
Gotta catch them all.
Anyway, moving on.
So they exit the train station on the other side, and it's just like a really beautiful grassy field. Also, just this movie is so beautiful. It's gorgeous. The scenes are lovely. And Dad thinks it's an old abandoned theme park that they come across just outside the little grassy area. So they cross what was going to be a river, they think, into another part of this theme park, which is just a row of restaurants, and they start to smell some food.
Yeah, it's been a while since they ate, since they were on this long drive from wherever they moved from. And
Kansas.
I think so. Kansas, Japan.
It was a long car ride. Oh, you mean like Kansas, Japan? Yeah. Everyone's favorite Japanese city, Kansas.
It's beautiful.
It's lovely this time of year.
Okay, anyway. They come across a restaurant that has a ton of fresh food that's just sitting out and there's no one there. Like there's not a cook, there's not a server, there's nothing. Mom and dad just sit down and start piling all this food onto their plates and then shoving it into their freaking pie holes. And Chihiro is like, I don't think we should be here. I don't think this is for us. I think we should go back to the car like I keep saying. Mom and dad are like, no, it's fine. Still throwing food in their faces. Chihiro decides she's going to look around while her parents are pigging out. So she's walking around and this is when she comes across the bathhouse. And
the spa.
The spa, as us ignorant Americans would call it.
Spa.
So she's looking around the outside of the bathhouse, and then she looks down over the bridge that's in front of the bathhouse. And that's when she sees the train that they heard earlier. It's going across the grassy plain area that they crossed earlier. And Chihiro turns around, and there's just a boy standing there. And he tells her that she needs to leave before it gets dark, and she has to cross the river so she doesn't get stuck there. And she's like, what the fuck is this boy talking about? So then she gets panicked because it is getting dark out and all the lights are coming on in the theme park. So Chihiro runs to go find her parents. And while she's running through this abandoned theme park, there starts to be shadows and spirits showing up in all of the buildings and all over the walkways. So she's freaking out, and she comes across her parents. And they turn into pigs. They're pigs. They're literal pigs. Giant pigs. It's literally a jump scare. It's horrifying. They're super fucking scary.
So Chihiro runs away, and she runs into some water. On the other side of the water, she sees a village, and it's all lit up. And then Chihiro starts to disappear.
Well, the water that she comes to is the grassy plain that they crossed from the train station to the theme park. It magically filled with water so they can't leave.
Whoa. So Chihiro is sitting, and a boat docks near her, and a bunch of spirits. Also, these spirits are just like all sorts of different looking. They don't look like, I don't know. They're all like different looking and shit.
In Japan, their culture is that like spirits become like different.
They're not
beings.
human forms, but they're all like different blobs and animals and things.
There's a radish one later on.
There's a fucking radish. I don't like it.
Yeah, they're all different like things.
So the spirits are getting off of this boat, and Chihiro gets freaked out again. She's still starting to disappear, and she runs and hides behind a building. And the creepy boy from the bridge finds her.
Don't you dare call him creepy. Haku is the best.
Haku is creepy. Continue.
No. So Haku is the name of the boy who speaks to Chihiro, and he tells her that she has to eat something from the island or she's going to disappear forever, and then she's going to be stuck there. He literally shoves like a berry into her mouth and makes her eat it.
Not a berry.
And as they're sitting there chit-chatting, there's a bird that flies over with a human head.
I was like, damn, this is the best scary movie I've ever seen. That's terrifying. That bitch's face is scary as hell.
Yeah, it's just a giant bird with an old lady head on it.
And Kat loves birds. I mean, they're truly her favorite thing.
Absolutely. Birds and old people, two of my favorite things. We love it.
Kat's ultimate demon. An old lady bird. That's the name of this episode. An old lady bird. So Haku takes Chihiro across a bridge, and he's like, you have to hold your breath across this whole bridge. And then he's like, all right, inhale, hold your breath. Are you fucking kidding me? What kind of request is this?
And he said, don't breathe. All right, go.
Oh my God. I guess like adrenaline would help you, but oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he put a spell on her. So while they're crossing the bridge, as long as she's holding her breath, the spirits won't be able to see her. But as they're crossing the bridge to the bathhouse, a frog man jumps up to them.
It's just a frog.
And
because there's frogmen later, so let's not confuse the two.
That's fair.
This is just
a talking frog
Yeah.
wearing a bathrobe.
A magical wizard frog. I fucking stand.
He is talking some shit to fucking Haku, and he just keeps hopping, and it scares Chihiro, and she breathes in, breaking the spell. And
she's also been holding her breath for 14 seconds, and this frog is holding them up on the bridge. If I was Haku, I'd have punted that little hoe.
Yeah, truthfully. So now all the spirits can see Chihiro, and they can smell her. Apparently humans smell like ass, according to the way all of these fucking spirits react. So all the spirits start freaking out now because there is a living human in the spirit world. Blah.
So Haku and Chihiro are hiding from all the spirits, and Haku tells Chihiro, just go to the boiler room and talk to Kamaji. Who is that? We don't know. Also, Yubaba is going to turn you into an animal if you don't get work from Kamaji. So if Kamaji doesn't have a job for you, just keep begging him. And I'm like, what in the fucking fuck? Okay, this is when I was like, nope, I don't know. I don't know if I like this movie anymore. It's getting weird really fast. I mean, literally this poor little girl. Honestly, imagine, okay, your parents have been turned into pigs. There's spirits all around you. A strange boy is telling you to hold your breath. You fuck that up. And now he's telling you you're going to be a slave to a boiler man. And if you don't, a bird woman wizard from the sky is going to turn you into an animal.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to slit my throat right then and there.
I'm just like, jump in the river.
Yeah, I'm ending it.
Bye.
I'm not, I don't want to be no, I'm ending it. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, it's a lot.
I was overwhelmed and I was just watching the film. I was like, this is a lot.
She's also like 9.
Bro.
Imagine.
She's just out here in her little Skechers and her little white socks and her little shorts and her sweater.
Her fit is very cute.
It's very 90s.
To be fair. Chihiro finds the staircase that she has to take to get to the boiler room. It's on the side of the bathhouse. It's
steep.
To be, yeah.
Steep.
Scary.
Long.
Not built well.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So she's like, there's no handle bar, like no, what is that called?
Railing. Nailed it.
No railing. And it's just on the side of this giant fucking building. So she starts like literally, she sits down on a stair and puts a foot down and then inches her way down until one of them breaks and she literally runs down the rest of the way screaming at the top of her lungs. That's how I take the stairs. I don't know about you. She finally makes it to the boiler room door. She is really nervous. And so she's like standing kind of in the doorway without saying anything yet. She's watching this man thing. I don't know what he is.
Spider.
Yeah, he has a lot of arms and they're very long. He's on like a little like arm bike. So like
just a bunch of levers.
Yeah, it's fine.
An arm bike.
That's what it is. He's not doing it with his legs. He's doing it with his arms.
His 5 arms.
Yeah. And there's all these cute little black things all over the floor that are carrying a bunch of coal and throwing it into the boiler. So finally she speaks up and she's like, hi, my name is Chihiro. I'm a human, not supposed to be here, but I kind of really need a job. Haku sent me to you. And Kamaji's like, I definitely don't need help. I have 7 arms and I have all these soot sprites that I've cast a spell on to do all of my work for me. So I actually really don't need you, but thanks for the offer. And she's really sad. She's like, well, no, actually, I really need a job. And so she keeps literally shouting at him.
She's not sad. She's freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Literally, Haku just said, if you don't take a job from the boiler man, you're going to get turned into an animal like your parents from the bird lady in the sky.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So she is trying to convince him to give her a job. So she's literally shouting at Kamaji. A soot sprite drops a large piece of coal on itself. So she like picks up the piece of coal to help the soot sprite, but then the soot sprite is like, no, you picked that up. Now you gotta go take it to the fucking flame over here. And Kamaji tells her, you gotta finish what you started, human. You know, you gotta back your shit up. So she takes this giant piece of coal, which is apparently weighs 100 pounds by the way she's carrying.
For real. That thing weighed 45 pounds at least.
So she throws it into the boiler and all the soot sprites are watching her and they all decide then that they're also going to fall underneath their coal. So they drop their coal on top of them, all like 200 of these soot sprites, and are like panicked underneath their coal.
They're just pretending that their coal is too heavy now. So Chihiro will come pick it up and take it for them.
Do their job for them. The soot sprites are so cute. I love them so much.
So the door opens and in walks Lynn, who is seemingly another human being.
And she's voiced by Susan Egan.
We got Meg back.
Woo! Melissa literally looks at me. She goes, that's Meg.
I knew it was Meg.
She's a queen.
So Lynn comes in to feed the soot sprites candy. They eat like nerds or something. They got runts out here.
One of my favorite scenes in this whole movie is just all the soot sprites with the little star candies. They're just so cute.
It was very cute. So Lynn takes Chihiro to Yubaba because the boiler man traded her a dried newt.
Yeah, he said, "This is my human niece. She needs a job and I don't need help. So take her to Yubaba. Tell her that it's my niece."
I wonder why he vouched for her.
He had a good feeling.
So Lynn is taking Chihiro to Yubaba. She's got her dried newt. She's pretty pumped about it.
Also, being taken to the one place she was told not to get taken
She
to.
was also like, let's go. Honestly, Lynn is so sweet and like has great hair. So
Yeah.
I would follow her anywhere also.
Same.
So this is when we meet the radish spirit. He's literally a giant radish and he's breathing really heavy. And I fucking hated it. I hated it the whole time. So he starts to follow them to the elevator and then they have to go take another elevator because this elevator doesn't go all the way to the top floor, I guess. It's a really big bathhouse, you guys. And then a man frog comes over because he can smell a human on Lynn, but she's convincing him that it's just a roasted newt that she got from Kamaji.
Yeah.
This is so just like like what the fuck is happening? And then she tells Chihiro to just pull the lever in the elevator and it'll take her up to the top floor. So it's just Chihiro and this giant radish spirit breathing all heavy in the elevator now. And Chihiro pulls the lever and goes all the way up to the top floor. And the radish spirit doesn't get off the elevator with her. He just goes back down. He was like protecting her, I feel like. What does the radish spirit know? What does he know?
More than everyone else, apparently.
So the radish spirit leaves Chihiro at Yubaba's door, more like her 12 doors, because they all open and they suck Chihiro into Yubaba's office.
But before that, the door knocker straight up insults Chihiro. He's like straight roasting Chihiro before he finally lets her in. He's like, "You're a dumb bitch. What are you doing here? You're a human. Why are you even here?" And she's just like, "I'm 9. I don't know what I'm doing."
So I'm already like super overwhelmed at this point with, the radish spirit and the pig parents and the witch bird and the guy at the boiler and the soot sprite. I'm already overwhelmed. Okay, this is a lot for me to take in. This very magical movie.
Was it the 3 bouncing
There's
heads?
3 bouncing man's heads on the floor going. And I'm just like, what in the fucking fuck?
Also, they're like green. They're like army green.
They are decaying before our eyes. So there's 3 big old man heads and they're just bouncing around Chihiro's feet until Yubaba finally sends them away. Okay, now we get to meet Yubaba. Are you guys ready? It just keeps getting better and better. She's like the same height as a 9-year-old Chihiro. I'd say she's like 9 or 10, right?
Yeah.
I don't freaking know.
I think so.
She has a giant ass head. Like it's literally the size of like a dresser. And then she's got a top knot. She's a little old lady and she's got a big old witch nose, which is like half of her face. She got no neck and she got a big old mole in between her eyes. And she wrinkly as hell.
Yeah. And all the rings on her fingers.
Yubaba? What?
She's a witch.
What is she doing there?
Witching.
Why does she own this bathhouse in the spirit world? Is she a spirit? I have so many questions.
No, she's a witch.
Anyway, so Chihiro asks for a job and Yubaba shuts her up by quite literally zipping her mouth shut. And she says there's no way a pathetic girl could have gotten this far in the spirit world by herself. So she's like, so who is helping you? And Chihiro is screaming because she's nervous. And she's like, nobody. And she wakes up the baby. All right, now we have to talk about the baby. Like this movie is out of control. I'm like over fucking whelmed. I was like, there's so much happening. Okay, this old witch, Yubaba, has a giant baby.
Yeah, the baby's like 7 feet tall, but it's like a baby.
But it acts like a toddler?
Yeah.
But it's a giant baby. Okay, are we all caught up?
And
we doing good?
Who does the baby's voice?
I don't freaking know.
Tara Strong.
Amazing.
She's the same one that does Bubbles. She's an icon.
So again, Chihiro is begging for a job after we shut the baby up, and Yubaba finally gives her a job. And Yubaba also takes her name away from her and renames her Sen. So now Chihiro is Sen. Okay, goodbye.
Yubaba tells Chihiro that her parents
Sen.
are being punished for being gluttonous.
Yeah, well, they are.
Yeah.
No, I'm on board with you, Babo, on that one.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Don't eat food that doesn't belong to you. Anyway, so now Haku comes to collect Sen, and he has a job for her, and he says not to address him like they're buddies, but to call him Master Haku. So anyway, Sen gets to work with a bad at bitch Lin, who is Megara from Hercules in my eyes. Thank you.
But also, she only gets to work with Lin because no one else wants to take a human.
Well, isn't Lin a human? I don't. What is Lin doing there? How did Lin get there? Also, some of the other ladies that work in the bathhouse, they're all
Humanish. They're humanish.
Humanoids.
They're like fish humans.
What the fuck is happening?
Well, I think they're all dead. But
oh my God, Lin's dead. R.I.P. Queen.
Because Sen isn't like dead. She's not a spirit. She's like alive.
Can I ask another question that hasn't come up yet? But why are they so worried about money then if they're spirits?
Because they can buy a train ticket to leave.
Go where?
Not work at the bathhouse. They're all trapped at the bathhouse.
Are they trying to like go to like heaven? What's the tea? Because if you ask me, the train only goes to Swamp Bottom, and Swamp Bottom,
that was just one stop.
Oh, is that the point? I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to like leave the island. I think they're all trapped on the island. Because when they signed their contract,
like purgatory or something?
I don't know that it's purgatory. I just think that the witch has trapped them all.
If I die and I go to a bathhouse and I'm scrounging out here cleaning spirits for money, I'm gonna be mad.
Well, Yubaba has trapped them by having them sign. They're like indentured servants.
Oh.
So they can buy a train ticket to leave.
Okay, so I'm a witch, right? A witch named Yubaba.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do for eternity? I am going to trap spirits in a bathhouse island to cleanse dirty spirits and make them work for gold. Okay, that's okay. That's the narrative.
Yeah.
All right, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm back. Questions have been answered.
We love that.
So Sen gets to work with Lin, and Lin works in the bathhouse taking care of the spirit clients. Lin tells Sen that Haku is Yubaba's henchman, and now Sen is like, wait, is Haku bad? She's like, he can't be bad. He's my homie. She's like, I get good vibes from him. You know what I'm saying? Like the vibes are immaculate on Haku. He can't be bad.
And then she cries because that was her only friend. And now she's like sad that her only friend in the spirit world might be a bad guy.
Yeah. Sen spends her first night, or I guess day, because night is when they all come out. So Sen spends her first day in her sleeping bag, just fucking full blown sobbing. And
we've all been there.
No, we have not. I have never gone down a tunnel with my parents, watched them turn into pigs, get kidnapped by a spirit boy, get accosted by a frog on a bridge, have to go beg for a job from a 4-armed man in a boiler room with a bunch of soot sprites eating candy, to have a pretty lady come and get me and take me to a bird witch lady who has a giant baby in her room and and 3 heads bouncing around her carpet, and then have to go work in a bathhouse with a bunch of dirty spirits. I've never had a day like that.
And the only thing that makes her cry is the fact that her new friend might be bad. Not her parents becoming pigs, not... I guess she already cried over that.
I've never had a day that bad.
Okay.
Anytime I ever have a bad day ever again, I'm gonna be like, Sen went through it.
Sen went through it. Sen through it.
Sen literally has made it farther than I ever would. I told you, I'm jumping in the river as soon as my parents turn into pigs. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I think that would be my breaking point.
The fuck is happening? Did I miss anything?
No, I think that was it.
Awesome. We forgot the fucking radish. He seemed cool though.
I feel like he's got a smell.
I love radishes.
Anyway, moving on. So while everyone is sleeping in, Sen has finally cried herself into a semblance of sleep. Haku comes in, and mind you, everyone who works in this place is sleeping in essentially a sleeping bag on the floor in a giant room. So every one of these women is all sleeping on the floor in the same room.
It's like a giant fun spirit world slumber party.
Woo! Except not fun.
Except not fun at all.
And Haku comes over to Sen and kind of like shakes her and is like, hey, meet me at the bridge right now, and I'm gonna take you to see your parents. And then he leaves, and Shira's like, okay, well, do I trust him? Do I not trust him? But I'm gonna go see my fucking parents. Bye. So she goes back down to the boiler room where the soot sprites are holding her shoes captive.
Oh, they kept them for her.
They did.
They brought her shoes because she took them off to go inside because Japan. So cute.
It is very cute. So she gets her shoes back from the Soot Sprites and she goes to the bridge to meet Haku. There's a black spirit. He looks like a see-through black spirit wearing a white, it looks almost kind of like a kabuki mask kind of. And he's just chilling on the bridge and Haku doesn't really say anything to him, but then Chihiro's like, "What's up, bestie?" She's like, "Hey, what's up?" And then he just disappears.
He's like the Japanese ghost face. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
From
exactly.
Scream.
Exactly that. So Haku brings Sen to see her parents, and they're currently in a pen by themselves, whereas all the other pigs are together. And he said, "Remember what your pig parents look like because you're going to have to find them when you want to leave here. So remember what your parents look like. I know all these pigs look exactly the same, but memorize these fucking pigs, yo." Then Haku takes Chihiro out of the pig pen and they are talking and he gives her back her real clothes. And in her pants pocket was the note from her flowers that she was clutching in the car, and it has her real name, Chihiro, on it. And then she goes, "Oh yeah, that's my name. I forgot about that." Haku tells her that that's how Yubaba traps people to work for her, is that she takes their name from them. And so once they forget their name, they are in a life of servitude. They cannot remember who they were, who they are, and they're trapped there forever. And that's how she gets them.
So Haku turns into a dragon and flies away. That's
Yeah, he
right.
does.
Haku's a dragon. So Sen goes back and she gets to work with all the other ladies cleaning the bathhouse, getting ready for their clients for the evening. And she sees Japanese ghost face from the bridge again. And she's dumping out her bucket and she leaves the door open for him. And she's like, "Are you coming in?" And he just stares at her. He also does one of these numbers. He goes, "Ugh." So scary.
The only noise he ever makes is,
He's literally like just hovering at the end of the treed area and
the treed area.
he's just being creepy. And she's like, "Do you want to come inside?" And I literally, before I even knew anything that was going to happen in this movie, was like, for some reason, I think Sen really shouldn't have invited that thing into the bathhouse. I think this is going to go poorly.
This is going great for her.
So Lynn and Sen have to go clean the big tub. The big tub is disgustingly filthy. It is covered in sludge, muck, grime. It is like there's not enough CLR in the world. There's not enough OxyClean in the world. Like that tub was nasty.
They have like giant scrub brushes and it's doing nothing. They're also sweeping like moss off of the floor. There's a lot going on.
So Lynn sends Sen/Chihiro to get an herbal soak token from the foreman. We cut to Yubaba, and Yubaba senses that something is coming, and she can smell like a really dirty spirit coming towards the bathhouse. And they call these kinds of spirits stink spirits. And I was like, wow, we are getting original.
I mean, the radish spirit was literally a giant radish. What did you expect?
The stink spirit. That's going to be me. I'm going to be a whole stinky spirit.
You already are.
So we cut back to Sen/Chihiro, and she is asking the foreman for a soak token, and he basically tells her, "Fuck off," in so many words. And then Chihiro/Sen is super upset that she didn't get the soak token. But then the Japanese ghost face that she let in through the back door, he stole her an herbal soak token and he gives it to her. They're besties.
Yeah. So back at the big tub, Lynn is showing Sen how to get the water going, how to send the herbal soak token to the boiler room to get the herbal soak into the water.
Yeah, that's what Kamaji's doing down there with all his arms, is he's making the herbal recipes that are on the soak tokens.
Pretty cool.
Bruh, this man he didn't even know what he was going to do. He just said, "I'm making a movie." And he came up with this. He's a genius.
He is a genius. So while she's setting up, Lynn goes off to get them some food before the bathhouse actually opens. And as Melissa calls him, Japanese ghost face shows up and he just has a fucking handful of the bath tokens. And Sen is like, thanks. I really just needed the one. I don't need any of these.
He's also again going, ugh.
That was more verbal than he was. He literally does it like, Yeah. And that's it. As he's shoving these bath tokens into her face multiple
He's giving
times.
them to her.
Yeah. And this is when the stink spirit walks into the building and everyone's panicked and they're like, well, get him to the big tub because he's obviously a big fucking dude.
Yeah.
And Yubaba says that, oh, we have to take care of him. Sen, you got this.
Yeah, Sen's the new girl, so you get to deal with the stink spirit.
What the fuck? That's wild. So Sen is taking the stink spirit to the big tub. Mind you, he is like gleeking goo
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yubaba's literally yelling at people to open the windows of the bathhouse on every floor because he's stinking the whole place up and he's ruining the experience for the other clients.
It's a big no for me. So there's sludge everywhere. Chihiro fills the tub for the stink spirit and helps him get into it so he can start washing off. He like asks her to help him. So she gets up on the tub and then she literally falls into his muck and she feels that there's something stuck on his side.
She thinks there's a thorn in his side.
Yeah, so she's trying to get it out. Mind you, she has the water going on top of him currently, like a shower almost, so that it's rinsing him off, but it's not doing a damn thing except filling this fucking room with water and sludge. Yubaba has been watching them because she's a nosy bitch, and she's like, I'm gonna watch the new girl do her job and see how she handles it. And as soon as Sen, sorry, not Chihiro, Sen.
Chihiro Sen.
As soon as Sen said that she thinks that there's a thorn in his side, Yubaba's like, oh, I know what this actually is. And they get a rope and tie it around what Sen thinks is a thorn. And they have like 45 people pull on it. A fucking bicycle comes out. There's like a car, like a whole bunch of shit comes like flying out of this fucking spirit's body. And then it's no longer a giant mucky spirit. It's literally just this creepy ass mask. That's a no for me.
He's a river spirit.
Yeah, he was another dragon. So Chihiro Sen saved the river spirit. He gives them a bunch of gold.
I don't think he gave it to them so much as it was stuck in his stinky pile up. They had to like sift it out of his dirt and rubble. Also, somebody got a bike, so I mean, a win-win.
I think so. So the river spirit leaves and Yubaba is like, good job, Sen. That was a very rich and powerful river dragon spirit and you did great. And Sen's like, I didn't do anything, but okay.
Also, the spirit gives Sen a ball of moss and Sen's immediate reaction is to take a bite of it. So,
oh, yeah.
She's really not making great choices out here. So later on that night, one of the frog dudes, maybe there's only one, I don't know. He goes into the bathhouse.
I think it is the same one, yeah.
And he sees the Japanese ghost face spirit. And then Japanese ghost face eats Mr. Frog.
Okay, well, first he creates a shit ton of gold in his hands and offers it to the frog and then eats the frog.
So Japanese Ghostface now has the voice of the frog dude and he is asking for food and a bath and he is showering everybody with gold.
Yeah, he's like creating gold in his hands and throwing it at everyone to get whatever he wants.
It's like spewing out of his spirit ghost body.
So Sen wakes up and everyone's already gone. And she's like, okay, whatever. And then everyone is feeding so much food to Japanese ghost face. Like it's hella food. And he's just throwing gold to all of them. And Sen is like, okay, this is nice. I'm going to go find Haku. And Lynn is like, can you fucking do some work? We're all trying to make gold here. Like,
she wants to show Haku her ball of mildew. Her little moss ball. She's fucking pumped.
So then Sen can't find Haku anywhere. So she goes back to the sleeping room and she's like on the balcony. I was going to call it her room, but it's not really her room. It's everyone's room. So she goes back to the room and she's out on the balcony and she sees Haku's dragon form like flitting around in the sky being chased but by what looks like a fuck ton of birds. He keeps falling in the water and he looks like he's hurt. So she calls out to him and says like, come in here. So he flies into the sleeping room and he's getting fucking blood everywhere. He is literally profusely gushing blood on everything. She closes the window door on the balcony.
It's just a door in Japan.
And
it's a Japanese door.
All the birds are actually made of like fucking paper.
They're paper birds.
Literally fighting paper. And
they were aggressive.
One of them attaches itself to Sen's back. Haku gets up and flings more blood everywhere and flies back out of the window. And he goes up to like the tallest building on the bathhouse and flies into that window.
Which the tallest building in the bathhouse is Yubaba's office.
So Sen is like, well, I'm going to go after him. Okay, bet, sis. He just bled all over everyone's beds, but don't clean that up. It's fine.
No, that's none of her business. She cleans the bathhouse, not the bedroom. So Sen is trying to get to Haku up in Yubaba's office, and she runs into Japanese ghost face spirit who can talk now. And he's giving her a bunch of gold, and she's like, that's really nice. I love gold and all, but I gotta go see my bloody friend, so goodbye.
Not my bloody friend.
Sen leaves. The Japanese ghost face spirit literally eats one of the bathhouse foremans and a lady.
Yeah, he's mad that Sen ignored him.
Yeah.
So he just starts eating people.
I was like, oh my fucking God, they're fucking dead. True crime. I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. A murder most foul.
So
the frog was one thing, but oh my God, he's eating the bathhouse staff. Of course, everybody runs away scared.
Yeah, they're like, fuck his gold now. We don't want anything to do with
die.
that.
Wait, they can't die. Right? They're all spirits. I don't know what's happening.
I feel like they can still like disappear forever.
I don't think the workers of the bathhouse are dead yet. Anyway, so Sen runs across a pipe to a ladder that leads up to where Haku is. And then Sen goes into the window. The little paper bird that was stuck to her shirt slips through the window and undoes the latch for her so she can get into the building. It's helping her.
Yeah, and while she's climbing up the side of the building, she sees Yubaba fly out as her bird self of the window. So she knows at least that she is not in her quarters at the moment.
Yeah, fuck that. So now Sen ends up in the big baby's room and she overhears Yubaba talking about the Japanese ghost face spirit, which we learn is a no face. That's his name.
His name is No Face.
And she also says that Haku is going to bleed to death on her carpet and she could not care less.
Yeah.
So Yubaba's like a huge bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then Yubaba comes into the baby's room and Sen has to hide. And Yubaba gives the baby a kiss and she's like, Mama's got work to do. Peace out.
After Yubaba leaves, the big baby grabs Sen and tells her that she's not allowed to leave because then she'll get germs and die. And that's why he's never allowed to leave his room, is because his mama doesn't want him to get germs and die. And Sen is like, okay, well, I really have to go, bestie. So please let me leave. And the baby's like, no, you actually have to play with me. And then he says, if she doesn't play with him, he's going to cry really loud and Yubaba's going to come in there and kill her.
He literally grabs her arm and says, I'll break your arm in half if you don't play with me. What movie were you watching? You know, it's more vital than his mom killing her and breaking her fucking arm in half.
I don't know. Her dying is also kind of shitty.
Yeah, but in the moment. So Sen refuses to play with the baby, even though the baby said that he was going to snap her arm in half if she didn't play with him. And then Sen sees the 3 head guys and Haku bleeding all over the carpet. There is a mini Yubaba bird and it starts to attack Sen. And then all the paper birds, they turn into what I thought was Yubaba. But ladies and gentlemen, Yubaba has a sister that looks identical to her.
A twin sister?
But like, I thought it was Yubaba. I was so confused, but it's her fucking sister, Zeniba.
Zeniba.
Okay, great.
So it's Zeniba. Zeniba turns the giant baby into the cutest tiny little mouse. He's a little chunky little mouse, and then turns the Yubaba bird into a little tiny bird.
I thought it was a hamster.
No, it's a mouse.
And I also thought it was a fly. So maybe I'm just stupid.
I mean,
you see a mouse and a bird. I see a hamster and a fly.
Well, because the bird still has a beak.
I think it's like it's like an insect with a beak.
Maybe.
And a hamster.
No, it's definitely a mouse. Hamsters don't have tails that long.
Did it have a long tail?
Yeah. It's a
like...
rodent.
There we go.
Undetermined rodent. And then the 3 decaying heads jump on top of each other and turn into the baby. Like they turn themselves into a decoy baby.
Yeah, Zeniba had to have a decoy baby. Duh.
Obvi. So Zeniba then says that Haku stole her magical golden seal from her house. And so now he's going to die because he stole from her and he's under a curse.
So Zeniba is going to take Haku and Sen is really sad. But then Haku wakes up and slashes the paper birds. And that also slashes the spirit of Zeniba.
Zeniba.
Why do I keep wanting to say Zeniba?
I don't know.
Zeniba sounds like fucking, I don't know, like Grecian or something. It doesn't sound fucking Japanese, I guess.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's throwing me off.
So Haku, Sen, the mouse baby, and the tiny bird, they like fall through a hole that's in the ground in Yubaba's office. Okay, bet. And they end up in the boiler room. Okay. So Haku is just bleeding everywhere. And Kamaji says that he's bleeding from the inside. So he's not sure that Sen can help him. So Sen just forces her moss ball, which is apparently a medicine ball from the river spirit, as Kamaji says, forces him to eat half of it. Then he spits out this nasty goo that's around the golden seal that he had stolen. Sen chases after the goo and steps on it because Kamaji says it's bad juju. So she steps on it and kills it. So it's sayonara to the gross goo shit. She thinks that's what was killing Haku. So yay, she saved him. And Haku turns back into his human form from his dragon form, but he's still not doing too hot. So he's like passed the fuck out on the floor of the boiler room currently.
Yeah, Sen for some reason really thinks this ball of mold is like something spectacular, but I guess it worked this time, so we're gonna go with it.
Well, Kamaji says it's a magical medicine ball from the river spirit, so it's some fancy
shit. Ball of mildew. So Sen wants to bring the gold seal back to, I can't say it, Zeniba. I want to say Zeniba every time. Zeniba sounds fucking not right. Whatever I think it is, I'm going to say the opposite and I'm still going to get it wrong. So Sen wants to bring the gold seal back to Zeniba, and Kamaji gives train tickets to Sen to get to, guess where she lives? Swamp Bottom.
I love that for her.
What the fuck could the original have been in Japanese? Do you think it was still
Swamp Bottom? But also, he only gives her enough tickets to get there. And then he's like, good luck getting back. And she's like, okay, I'll just walk on the train tracks and hope for the best.
Why doesn't Kamaji leave? He likes being the boiler man. What a fucking weirdo.
Listen, he's doing great.
WTF, bro?
What else is he going to do with his 27 arms?
Live in Swamp Bottom? I don't know. That's also what we call it in Florida when your ass gets really sweaty, is Swamp Bottom.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Interesting choices.
Lynn comes in and she tells Sen about the No Face, and Sen admits that she let No Face in. She didn't know that he was bad. Lynn lets Sen know that Yubaba is super pissed because this guy is wrecking the bathhouse. Mm-hmm. He's also trying to murder people and eat them. And No Face is asking for Sen by name. So before Sen leaves on the train to Swamp Bottom to try to save Haku, this is like the greatest movie ever. She's going to go to No Face and she brings the rodent and the fly bird with her.
Sen is talking to Yubaba before she goes to deal with No Face, and she has a little mouse on her shoulder, and Yubaba calls the mouse baby ugly.
And it's her baby.
And Sen's like, you don't recognize him? Like, hint, hint. And she's like, no, I recognize that fucking ugly thing on your shoulder.
Oh.
And the mouse baby gets so upset.
That's his mom. The fuck. So anyway, since Sen is already obsessed with feeding this river spirit medicine to everybody, she gives some to No Face. And this bitch, Mr. No Face, immediately starts throwing up literally everywhere. He's throwing up on Sen, and then he starts to chase Sen, and then he's projectile vomiting off of the side of the bathhouse, and then he's projectile vomiting on Yubaba, and then he's chasing Sen some more. He's doing that creepy thing where he like runs up on the walls. Like, this is an actual horror film. This is terrifying.
And still vomiting.
Vomiting the whole way.
Actively vomiting. So Sen finally gets herself out of the bathhouse, and No Face is still following her. Lynn has a little boat that's in the river, and Sen gets into the boat, and then they just show No Face in the background. The way he jumps into the water is the fucking funniest thing. He like spreads his legs and just hops right in. It's iconic. And Lynn is like, why is this thing following us? And Sen's like, I think the bathhouse just turned him crazy. I think he's all right. He's good to go. So Lynn takes her to the tracks as close to the train station. It is literally just like a block of wood that you stand on until the train arrives to wait for the train. And she has a ticket for herself and for the little mouse and for the bird and for No Face.
Yeah, I thought she only had one ticket. What's up with that?
Yeah, so she has 4 tickets, and one of them is for her little bird and one of her little mouse. Why do they need tickets? I don't think they need tickets.
So the train comes and Sen and No Face and the bird fly and the rodent, they head to Swamp Bottom.
Oh, by the way, No Face threw up all the people.
Oh, yeah, they're
there's
alive.
No more people in him.
I wish they died. That would have been cooler. So, because then he would have been like a cool murderer on the run. You know what I mean? But it's fine.
He also doesn't have a voice anymore because he threw up the frog man.
Yeah, he's just back to his So back to Haku. He has woken up and he asks about Sen immediately. And Kamaji tells Haku that Sen is on her way to Zeniba's house. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Yay, Zeniba. So Haku goes to Yubaba.
So after Haku wakes up, he goes to see Yubaba and he tells her that she's been tricked and she's gotten too comfortable and hasn't noticed anything changing around her. So she finally figures out that her baby is actually the 3 heads and not her actual baby. And she gets really fucking pissed. And she blames Haku, and Haku's like, no, it's actually your sister, but go ahead, pop off, sis. You can yell at me all you want. And Haku tells Yubaba that he's going to go get the baby back, but he will only help her if Yubaba releases Sen from her contract and releases her name and her parents back to her. Yubaba, being the witch that she is, bitch loves contracts. She says, okay, bet, only under the condition that I get to have Sen pass one final test before I let her and her parents go. What is Haku gonna do? He's like, okay, whatever, sure, Jan.
So Sen and company, they get off at their stop at Swamp Bottom and they walk down a dark path until they are greeted by a lamp with a hand for a foot who lights their way all the way to the house. The Japanese Lampy.
He's very cute.
So the door at the house opens and a voice beckons them inside. And Zeniba, isn't it?
Yeah, you got it.
And Zeniba, again, looks just like Yubaba. Why are they the same? That kind of just felt lazy to me. I don't know. They're literally identical.
Yeah, they're twins.
Okay, but they have like the same, they're drawn the same. They have the same rings and the same mole in the middle of the forehead. Like,
I think it's meant to be like spooky. Like that they're like literally exact.
I actually was very confused for a little bit. I didn't realize that
even though they had different names,
was a real person. I thought it was Yubaba fucking her. I have no idea. Anyway, so Sen gives the golden seal back to Zeniba. And the protective spell is gone. And Sen thinks that the slug, that thing that she stepped on, was the spell. And she says that she squashed it with her foot. And Zeniba laughs and says, no, that only love can break the spell. And that the slug was just a spell from Yubaba on Haku.
So she could control him.
So Zeniba asks everyone to call her Granny, and Granny is now teaching them how to knit. And Granny makes Sen a hair tie from all of the thread that her friends wove together.
So it's going to protect her because it was made from the love of her friends.
Also, like, they're not really her friends. It's just the baby and the bird that got turned into a fly.
But
and
here's the thing.
I think, honestly, like, No Face is really her only friend.
But here's the
He
thing.
ate people for her. He ate people for her.
She didn't have to help and protect the baby who threatened to snap her arm and the bird who's a fucking narc.
Yeah, honestly, I would have drowned that rat like 20 minutes ago.
Right. So that is her friend because she is helping them even though she didn't have to.
So anyway, Haku comes to Granny's house. He's in his little dragon form. They're all going to go back to the bathhouse so that Sen can save her parents and get her name back and all that jazz. And Granny is like, you know what? I really like No Face. I'm just going to keep him as a pet if that's okay with everybody involved.
Yeah, No Face is going to stay there. And then Sen offers her real name to Zeniba. She says, my name is Chihiro. She remembers her real name.
So it just started raining like really hard. So if you can hear it.
So sorry.
Sorry. So Haku takes Sen and all her little friends, minus No Face that Granny's going to keep, back to the bathhouse so she can save her parents.
While Haku is flying through the sky with Sen on his back, Sen remembers how she thinks she knows Haku from when she was younger. When she was a little girl, she had dropped her shoe into a river. And then while she was trying to get her shoe out, she fell in. And it was the Kuhaku River. And the river spirit saved her, and Kuhaku is the river spirit, and he forgot who he was because the river had been filled in for construction, so it no longer existed. So his spirit was just like in limbo essentially. Yubaba tricked him into working for her and obviously stole his name and stole his identity, so he didn't remember who he was, but he is the river spirit of the Kuhaku River.
This part scared the fucking shit out of me because I didn't know it was gonna happen, and Kohaku in dragon form literally like breaks into a million crystal shards and blows up, and then him and Sen are just like floating through the air, and I was like, are they gonna die?
No,
but it's okay, they just like float like all cute, like, and that's why they have such a strong bond, is because he saved her when she was a little girl. They're besties,
and now she saved him. It's so cute.
Also, my notes just say the Kohaku River, it's apartments now. LOL. I don't know why that got me so good, but it did.
Yeah, they filled it in and literally built apartments
over the Kohaku River.
I hope they're called the Kohaku apartments.
They probably are. They fly to the bathhouse, and baby turns back into baby, and fly turns back into bird. Sen has to take also baby. Fuck baby. I wish baby was the hamster forever.
Baby literally could have been the hamster forever because
baby's annoying.
He chose to stay that.
Yeah. I hated it. Anyway, fuck the baby. So Sen has to take Yubaba's test still. And of course, the test is like, which one of these pigs is your parents? I literally could have called that from when
he said
Haku was like, remember which one of these pigs is your parents. So anyway, she has to pick out of like 8 different pigs which 2 are her parents. And Sen is like, well, none of these pigs are my parents, so you're trying to trick me. And she guessed correctly. Woo! So Sen's contract gets shredded. She's Chihiro again.
Yeah, man.
And then Chihiro runs to her real parents, who should be on the other side of the river. Now Haku leaves her at the edge of the town, and he tells her not to look back until she's on the other side of the tunnel. Chihiro runs and runs and runs. She runs to the field. She runs back to the train station, back down the tunnel. And when Sen finds her parents at the tunnel, they walk through it together.
Yeah, and they obviously don't remember anything. They also only feel like they've been there for like 2 minutes, but in reality, they've been there for a really long time. All the things that they were talking about when they were going through the tunnel the very first time going to the abandoned theme park, they literally say the exact same things on the way back. It's very sketchy and weird. And then when they get out of the tunnel, their car is still there, but it's covered in tree branches and leaves. And the dad is like, why is the inside so dusty? We were in there for like 2 minutes. Do you think their house is like just still there? Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, I wonder how, like, they must have actually, I don't know. They've been gone for a long time.
Yeah. Like,
so scary. The car was covered in dirt and branches. In the inside, filled with dust. Like, this is like the literal end of a horror film.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then they just get back in the car and drive to their house.
And Chihiro is like, and she's now a 48-year-old woman. Like, she has lived 1,000 lives. She's more mature than any of us will ever be.
Our parents were pigs 5 minutes ago.
Also, fuck her parents?
Yeah.
Okay. We hate them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm pretty sure that's like the moral of this movie.
Your parents are fucking stupid.
Is that children are smarter than you think they are.
Oh.
But yeah, don't
Okay.
gaslight your fucking 9-year-old. She knows better than you.
I loved this movie.
I'm so glad you liked it.
Yay, Spirited Away.
I get to watch all of them.
No. Thank you, Katie, for opening my Gorgina eyes to this
Yes.
movie. If there's any movies you guys ever want us to do, you can just inbox us whenever you want. We have a master list. We literally just go through it and like randomly pick movies that we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, Katie.
Thank you,
and
Katie.
thank you to all of our lovely patrons.
Yeah.
And go be your best. I was going to say go be your best Chihiro, but she kind of just yelled the whole movie. But
But she's also 9.
just the next time you have a bad day, just remember Chihiro's like 3 days in the spirit world. And I think you'll be okay after that. You know what I mean? You can get through anything.
Chihiro's parents were pigs. She got enslaved into a bathhouse of spirits.
Yeah.
Had to wash a stink guy.
A big baby almost broke her arm.
Yeah.
She had to go to Swamp Bottom. Actually, Swamp Bottom was chill AF. Like, they were just knitting and eating porridge.
Looked like a good time. We should go to Swamp Bottom. Fuck.
All right, guys.
We love you.
Love you. You're the best.
Woo.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
We're so funny, you and I.
Hilarious.
Oh, gosh. Well, we
Wow.
hope you enjoyed that episode from Patreon. Patrons, sorry, you know, you've
You get a
already
repeat.
heard it. But maybe you haven't. Or maybe, you know, you haven't listened to it since 2022.
Since 2022.
So maybe it was refreshing.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Incredible.
I don't even remember it. So. But yeah, we'll have Muppets Treasure Island next episode. And sorry that I suck.
You don't suck. You have a life. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm really living right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not sorry. I love Tragical, but I've been fucking living.
Yeah. As you should.
So, yeah. My horoscope would probably tell me, like, don't. My horoscope is
Podcast.
always fucking
Crazy.
like, no, it's always like telling me to do bad shit. I fucking love it.
Yeah, CoStar really tells you.
No, and I seriously
most.
love it. It's so great. But
Yeah.
it would probably tell me like, fuck bitches get money. Like that's actually my horoscope every day.
Can we do like the weird like?
Why do we always do this though?
I can't do it with my left hand. There's no fucking way.
I don't remember how to do
Oh.
it. What do you do with your thumb's not part of it, right?
No. What in the fuck? You know what? I forget I said anything.
Oh. Why can't I do it with this hand? It doesn't look
Your
right.
left hand? I can't do it.
There we go. God, that looks fucking stupid. Okay, bye.
These opinions are our own and are in no way associated with the film or the film's production company.
The cover art for Tragical was created by Johnny the Alchemist.
The theme song for Tragical was produced by Ja Reezy,
Contact info for both artists can be found on their Instagrams.
which are linked in the show notes.
Thanks for listening.
To Tragical.